Hey, this is Wes Fryer. It's December the 4th, 2021. It's a Saturday, and I'm here on the campus of the University of Texas at Austin. And I'm actually in between debate rounds. I'm here as a parent sponsor and school chaperone for our school, Cassidy School. And yeah, the old clock tower is actually chiming right behind me, so it's 1 o'clock. I just thought I'd reflect a little bit about cross-examination policy debate and some of the things that have changed with time, and some of the things that are just that are awesome, and things that are different, because of technology. So first off, I think just like I am a media literacy educator. One of my main goals in life is developing my own media literacy and my ability to read the world and to see and process media messages, filter them, but really importantly, ascertain the voices that are credible and the ones that I want to listen to and believe. And I've really enjoyed using this strategy called SIFT with my students. And so anyway, from a media literacy standpoint, I don't know if there is a better activity for anyone to participate in high school or in college than cross-examination, policy debate. Analyzing sources, determining who it is that you're going to consider a credible source, all of that is so important for debate. That has not changed. Of course, what's changed is the information environment is so fractured and so diverse and even more challenging than it ever was. But cross-examination debate really continues to be a fantastic way for students to develop their skills of research, but also analysis, and then being able to, stand up and defend ideas, and it's just fantastic. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the changes because of technology that I've seen. So everybody debates with a laptop. I mean, maybe there are some people still doing paper debate. I know actually our coach, Tommy Snyder, really likes paper debate. Even in his paradigm, he says, hey, extra points for, paper debate. I grew up with paper debate. We didn't have laptops, My class at the Air Force Academy we started in 1988. We were the first class to issued a Zenith computer that had the small 3.5-inch floppy drives, and we had Windows 3.1 that nobody used. Anyway, I've seen a whole lot of changes over my life, and so now to see everybody with a laptop, that definitely changes things. And sometimes there's some elevation of IT issues into the round, right? One of my teams that I was judging yesterday, their actual laptop crashed right at the start of the debate round, or it was in the middle. And so anyway, we gave some IT or tech, prep time. There's something called an email chain that the teams will start. And so one of the big things is this website, tabroom.com. And so a lot of tournaments like this one will have all the postings there to find out. That's what I'm waiting for actually right now in 13 minutes to see if I have a round to judge. But you can see also who your judge is, and then you can click on the judge and see their paradigm. And so this is the first face-to-face tournament in almost 2 years that our debaters have been able to go to because of the pandemic. And so that was my first tournament 2 years ago, since I was a college debater really in 1989 to 1992. And so anyway, I developed my paradigm there and put stuff online. It's really great because you don't have to sit there and explain to the debaters as a judge at the beginning of the round. They can see that in advance. But there's more. There's really no need now for scouting and having people go see different rounds and stuff, because they now have a wiki, which is an editable website that the debate coaches, high school debate coaches across the country utilize, and teams will post their affirmative cases there, and often there are arguments that they're going to be using as on the negative as well. So you can see what teams are running after those cases are introduced, and it really, one of the strategies back in the day for debate was sometimes you'd have what we call squirrel AFs. In fact, I remember there are policy briefs. I don't know if these exist anymore. They probably don't. They're called squirrel killers. And so, you were getting evidence that was going to help you be prepared for these, weird cases and squirrel cases. Now our team and a lot of teams will run a common case, a common affirmative case. The topic this year is water. I won't get it exactly right, but basically that the United States government should increase regulation to substantially regulate water resources in the United States. Right now our team, actually I think there are a couple affirmatives, and something else that's changed a lot in debate is there's a lot more theory arguments and critiques. Like I just judged a case where the affirmative team was arguing for eco-pedagogy, was that right? They were basically saying that you needed to reject the predominant ethos and philosophy with which we've addressed the environment, and you had to have a philosophical shift of people before you could do any kind of government policies. There's a lot of different things that people will come. Ecofeminism. There's basically topics that debaters will come ready to argue, which may or may not have lots of direct links to the topic, but they may not just be a proposed policy and plan that the U.S. government would put into place. So anyway, that is really different to have that access. At the beginning of each round, you'll start what's called an email chain, or actually the first speaker, who's the first affirmative speaker, starts an email chain, and they put the emails of the other debaters in it and the judge, or if there's more than one judge, like in a elimination round, all the judges. And so everybody will receive the full text of the first affirmative speech. And then successively in later speeches, when they're going to read evidence or cards, they'll go ahead and send that full text. And so it really is phenomenal to be able to have that open. Now, as a judge, what I do, and I think most people do, is if things are not read aloud, I basically am using the email document to in some cases understand what the person is saying, because debaters talk really fast, but also to verify if you missed a tag or missed a source or something like that. It's basically a second check, but they have to say it and read it into the round for it to be considered. One of the things that happened last night, I got to see our daughter Rachel debate, and the last time we were here, she was a novice. This is her third year to do debate, and it was awesome to get to see how far she's come and how she's doing in handling debate. The judge in that round was old by debate judge standards, and he told us he's 69, but he was old school, and he actually required the students to do a closed cross-examination, which means that an open CX is where anybody can ask questions. And what happens sometimes, and I've seen this actually frequently, is one of the debaters, the stronger debater, will kind of dominate, and my hand is getting tired because I don't have a tripod, and the other debater doesn't talk a whole lot, and basically things get dominated. All the CXs get dominated. Well, I liked how he wanted a closed CX for the reason of seeing if each debater could understand and analyze the issues of the debate and hold their own. And so that actually kind of emboldened me to modify my paradigm that I've on tabroom.com to say, hey, that I want a closed CX. Most debaters today, I think, prefer an open CX. But anyway, it's interesting, the different approaches. What I saw, all the debaters in the last round, which was an open round that our daughter was in, they adapted really well to the judge, and based off of their paradigm. So anyway, and that's an important thing for debaters to be able to do. I guess my last thought is, what a joy to have a face-to-face tournament. It is beautiful here today. What is the temperature? It's 73 degrees here in Austin, Texas, and it's been unseasonably warm across the country, for early December. But it really is just lovely. I mean, there's all kinds of stories that people have for the pandemic of the ways that our lives have been disrupted. We're still operating inside with masks on, except when people are speaking. Generally, as long as both teams are good with that, they are, taking their masks off to give their speech, but the rest of the time masks are on. The pandemic is not over, it's still going, but I'm really thankful that we're having the opportunity to engage in a face-to-face debate tournament again. And, it's very challenging to judge debate. In fact, there's people that absolutely can't stand it. And if you haven't participated in it, even at the novice level, and teams will just a lot of times talk really, really fast and read cards really, really quickly, and it's sometimes can be difficult to track and understand what they're saying. I judged the novice division last tournament, last time I was here 2 years ago, and I'm judging novice again. And so I hope through the verbal critiques and then also the feedback that you provide through the website, that helps these students as they're learning. It's a lot of initiation by fire. But anyway, it is a joy to have face-to-face debate, to be here in Austin, and especially to, see our daughter have an opportunity to participate in this outstanding activity, cross-examination debate, policy debate. And I did parliamentary debate, in the World Debating Championships twice when I was in college too. And parliamentary is more persuasive and not evidence-based. I really think that cross-examination, evidence-based debate has so many awesome benefits. So there's a few thoughts from UT Austin in December 2021. So long.